Hey, for some reason, this guy love Jordan Love loves
Romeo Dubs.
Romeo Dobbs. It's always like that. He had Jaden Reed, Christian Watson. Nah, give me Dobbs. Put him out there.
But Dobbs, he only threw in the end zone.
Put three touchdowns, dude.
Yeah, I know.
Just had him on his bench. He was talking so much shit. Shout out to.
Good.
What episode number is it? 80?
Uh, oh yeah, login.
Yes, sir.
Is it?
Mhm. All right, guys, welcome back to the Play On Podcast. This is Jesse and Jerry, episode 80. Before we get into anything, make sure to like and subscribe. Share this with a friend. Um, Champions League week is back. This is match week two. Great games ahead, like Barca PSG. They're pretty much the second teams are playing because a lot of the first team players got hurt. And a lot of things happened in the weekend. A lot of upsets. Chelsea lost. Arsenal won.
Chelsea lost. Who was
Real Madrid lost against
Liverpool
Atletico
lost.
Madrid. Liverpool
Liverpool lost.
lost against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace is undefeated. Not talked
Yeah,
about enough.
yeah, they're in the top four race.
Yeah, and they got gutted. They lost Esse, and we thought everything was done, but they're just still thriving. So again, we'll see how they do at the end of the season, but so far so good. They're putting themselves in a great position to at least fight for European spots.
Yeah, it could be another Nottingham Forest story from last year where people saw they had a hot start to begin the year and they're like, oh, they'll eventually fall off, and they just kept the pace until they sort of fell off a little bit towards the end of last year, but a great year for them, and Crystal Palace could have another.
Hopefully they don't go the Nottingham Forest way and get a crazy owner that
Yeah,
just starts to fire people, threaten people.
yeah, well, I mean, he fired Espírito Santos like beginning of this year already.
So yeah, nothing but great things. And then of course, the best thing of all, Barcelona top of the league. Jesse, um, couldn't ask for a better start, you know. Shout out Atletico Madrid, shout out Diego Simeone. I sent you a text and it was Diego Simeone in a Barca jersey.
Oh, I just ignored it because I assumed it was rage bait.
Yeah, it was because I know we're gonna get Julian Alvarez hopefully next year on a very
Wait,
uh
hold up, hold up. I've heard you guys say you guys want Julian Alvarez, and I also heard you guys want Holland. Like, can you guys make up your mind which one you guys getting?
one of those two, but I think we're gonna end up with Guirassy. It's not a bad choice either. I think he's a very underrated player because I think a lot of links started
Kudos.
coming out.
The Dortmund one?
Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
think he's a great striker.
Yeah.
But if we have the chance to get Julian Alvarez for the same price as Gurasi, that's great. Because I think they're both going for the same amount. Because I think there's like a 60 million release clause for Julian Alvarez next summer. Haaland is more expensive. I think it'll be like 120, 150.
I've heard they want 200.
Yeah, so that's why Haaland is like, yeah. If he came on a free, I'll be glad, dude. But I don't think that's gonna be the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, we'll get started. We'll start off with the most boring league of them all, the Premier League. Uh, but there was a big controversial call between Newcastle and Arsenal. Um, Arsenal got away without getting a penalty call, Jesse.
Yeah, and it was the beginning of stages of not was it the beginning or was it the second half, or was that their shot?
I can't really remember. But it was a very big call that wasn't called. Here,
I think it was
I'm
I think it
pulling
was
up the
second half.
image right now.
I think it was second half. Because I know the first half they had the uh Gyökeres penalty shot that, obviously that wasn't because the goalie got the
Blasphemous.
ball, and but I think it was the second one. It was yeah, it was, yeah, Gabriel just having his hand up.
And you said that they're trying to get away with it by saying it hit the shin first and it bounced up.
Yeah, they're saying Arsenal fans and Arsenal people that support Arsenal are biased towards them have said there's two reasons why it's not a penalty. It's because of the proximity of when it was hit. So they're saying it was too close for him to react. And the second one was that it hit the shin first, so it reflected. But either way, it's a clear and obvious penalty for me because the hand is in an unnatural position because there's no reason for him to have his hand in that spot at all. Usually when players are diving at this point, they're taught to, like, try to keep your hands as close as possible. Like the second hand that's leaning on the floor, you can understand that because he's going for support, but the other hand is completely up in the air for no reason.
Yeah, I'm playing the video right now. I don't know if you can see it,
Yep, I see it.
but I slowed it down and yeah, it's really hard to defend that hand being that high up. Because it takes away goal scoring opportunity. Obviously, it's a cross to Wolf, whatever his name is. But
Ultimate, I think
Woltemade, yeah, something like that. The German.
the tower.
Yeah, he's literally 6'8". Um, yeah, I don't know why VAR didn't intervene or even the ref to go over there to VAR to even review it himself and give an explanation on why didn't it get called. But this is the VAR league. Maybe they want to make the Premier League closer than it is because Arsenal already dropped points, so more dropping points would be bad for the league. Who knows? I don't think so. That's more of a conspiracy theories thing. But it would have been interesting because Liverpool also dropped points.
Yeah, they came in. It was a late comeback by who was it?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a huge surprise. And again, more criticism towards they're calling him 007 now. Florian Wirtz. But it's still kind of a close Premier League, obviously still at the beginning of the season. But Liverpool is in first with 15, then Arsenal 13, then Crystal Palace in third with 12, and Tottenham in fourth with 11. And the mighty Sunderland, dude, the Mexican side Sunderland is in fifth. They have more points than Manchester United, and Sunderland just came up from the second division. So,
Have you seen the guy getting roasted
which one?
on TikTok? He's like he's a British dude. He's got glasses, white dude. He's on a
Mark
uh,
Goldbridge?
no. He's not Mark Overich. He's on a podcast with like some of the Sidemen friends.
Hmm.
Horrible ball knowledge podcast. But like he was originally a Sunderland fan, right? But when
Hmm.
they went to like the championship and they were down, he said, "Oh, I need a Premier League team." So he started supporting Newcastle.
Hmm.
And now that Sunderland's up, and you think, oh, he'd naturally transition back to his original team, but no, he's sticking with the Newcastle because it's a better team and overall.
Yeah, he doesn't want to suffer.
Yeah, so he's a plastic fan, as they say over there.
Now, honestly, if I was in England, I think that would have been cool to support a team, even though if they go to the second division, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But, they get bought into the hype. They have to be in the Premier League, and I don't know. It's kind of a shitty thing.
And it's funny because the English fans always say we have the best football culture, fan culture, and things like that. So you would think, why would he need to have a Premier League team? Just support your club and then just watch the you're free of worries now that you can watch a Premier League team because you're just at a neutral side, so you could enjoy whatever happens in the match.
One thing I would defend, or like I'll be fine with, if it's like a team in the fifth or sixth division.
Hmm.
That's a different thing. Because at that point, like, yeah, it is harder to go through the ranks on like a Wrexham. Like a Wrexham, like sure, you'll probably support your local club, but then you'll probably have another team. Doesn't necessarily have to be Premier League. It could be again championship and something, but like if Wrexham, like they're making their way up, you just go to Wrexham and you're gonna have that love for them. So that's the only way I would defend that. But other than that, it's like, yeah, that's shameless, dude. That's very shameful or whatever. Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah,
But man, how did Man City do this past weekend? I didn't even
they
check.
obliterated Burnley 5-1.
The inconsistent Man City.
Yeah, it's funny. It's
Their
funny
next
how they work.
their next match is against Brentford. So we'll see with that. But Man U is in the and where they're supposed to be in 14th place. Just
Yeah. So some people would say that that was an upset, but I don't know if you could quantify that anymore. It's been years now since Man U have been good and are should be considered favorites for anything. Brentford just obliterate them. And it's funny because Mbeumo went from Brentford to Man U and it might have just been a step down.
yeah, honestly, yeah. But again, it's a step up in his salary. But yeah, like you said, you can't be putting Man U. on a pedestal anymore. The bookmakers, everyone can has to stop expecting them to win every match because it shouldn't be the case. They're really bad. We thought they made some good buys, but it doesn't seem like they. Amorim's job is more on the line every single week he loses. So I have no idea. He bought some time with the Chelsea win, but trust me, I have no idea what's going on with Man U. Do they really need another coach fired at this point?
It's starting to look like it because I've been seeing more and more coaching candidates pop up, like from Man U, like related websites. So, that means obviously there's rumblings going around that his job is on the line. So I think he probably has like a couple more chances, but I wouldn't be surprised by the international break they just cut loose and start getting the new coach. Give him time with like that international break to like have practice with the players. And
Mhm.
a hot name is Oliver Glasnow from Crystal Palace. But hopefully he doesn't do that because he'll just be taking a step down from Crystal Palace to Man U.
Yeah, you're gonna go from a team in the top four to the team in mid-table, 14th place. Also, a name that came out and Fabrizio Romano tweeted it was Xavi Hernandez, ex-Barcelona coach, ex-Barcelona player. I hope he doesn't touch that team with the 10 football. I'll tell you that right now.
I think if he would, it'd be such a mistake because he purposely took a break from like, coaching to find the right project for himself and also just to like uh what was it, take a mental break because it was tough for him with like because there was obviously some off-field stuff that was happening between him and the board at Barcelona. So I don't think he would want to go to such a disastrous situation such as Man U currently.
Yeah, and again, it's English tabloids. They're gonna be worse on you than the Spanish tabloids. So we'll see what happens. I also saw rumors he's also interested in a Saudi job. I think I'll the team Benzema and Kante are in.
Etihad or something like that.
Yeah, they just fired their coach and he might be interested in that. So I don't know. Hopefully my boy doesn't go there because it's a step down. And on top
Yeah,
of that, I don't want him to potentially restructure Man U and make them into a winning team.
yeah. But I think that it would be a mistake to fire Amarin at this point. I think that you just got to write it out this year because this is exactly what happened last year with Eric Ten Hag. You gave him a whole window. You bought players that were supposed to fit, his system and things like that. And then you fire him early and then you bring in a new coach and then he's trying to implement his system and it just leads to another wasted year. Then you give him the summer and then it just happens all over again.
Yeah, and I know I've mentioned it like they shouldn't fire him, but it's so weird how they're playing. Like at this point, you would have thought they would have had a little more resistance, make like especially like taking away these points from Brentford, winning against lower side teams, but it seems like they're in their bracket at this point. I don't know, dude. Like Man U is so bad at the moment, and it's just the both Manchester teams. You don't know what's gonna come out.
I think the only one that I would say is more stable is Man U because they're just going to disappoint you more often than not.
Yeah.
Man City is just it's like random. Sometimes, sometimes they'll lose and you're like, how? And then they'll win by crazy and you're just like, how did you just lose last week and now you're just destroying Burnley 5-1 and showing glimpses of old Man City. Like, I think that's more random.
Yeah. So Man U, not a great place to be at right now, but one's a bit higher than the other.
Yep.
But
And it,
let's get to the wait, what were you gonna talk about? What did you want to talk about?
I was just gonna say also another upset would be Spurs drawing with Wolverhampton, who is a lot of people consider the worst team this year.
Yeah. I think they're bottom table. Last time I checked, they were 20th. I'm
Yeah, I
checking
think
now. They're still 20th.
yeah, so like that's a pretty big upset because just getting a point from that from Wolverhampton side's a victory because Spurs were looking like they were in great form. But a problem appeared that we mentioned early on. They had no center back depth, and now
Yeah.
they're playing Paulinho at center back.
You know what's funny? That's also Wolverhampton's first point of the Premier League.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, no center back depth. Did their center backs get injured? I didn't really see this game.
I think it was just more rotation than anything.
Yeah. Because they do have Champions League this week, so I get why they rotated, but it
Oh, oh,
sucks that you would have thought their B team would have taken care of this.
oh no, no, my bad. I misspoke or said wrong. Their two center backs were starting for this game. Paulinho was back in midfield. It was I think midweek where Paulinho was playing center back. The
Mm.
one where he hit the bicycle kick.
Yeah, so there's no excuse for this tie at all. And they were playing at home.
Yeah, midweek against Doncaster Rovers, it was Paulinho and Danso at center back.
I'm looking at the stats. So Tottenham only had one real big chance. So it was like a very back and forth game because it's one I don't know about back and forth, but position was pretty much split evenly almost 51-49. I wonder what went wrong.
I don't
But
know.
it's interesting. I'm looking at Tottenham's past 5 games. 0-3, 1-0, 2-2, 3-0, 1-1. But yeah, this is one you can't let go of. It's gonna end up biting them in the rear end at the end of the season.
Yep. These are the type of matches you just gotta tap in and get along because these are the easy points that you need throughout the year.
Yeah, against a team that has no points in the Premier League. They were literally 0-5. Like frustrating, but hey, they'll learn. They'll learn.
Yep.
And let's go to the other side of the pond in La Liga, Jesse. Your boys, what happened?
Ah.
Down 1-0, came back 2-1, and then just got thrashed 5-2.
Yeah, I think this fault lies with a couple people, couple reasons why this lost. The main reason I want to give it, say, is Xabi Alonso. I think he treated this match like it was a building exercise or like a building throughout the year, which I think he spoke afterwards in the press. He's like, "Oh, we're still building," and Diego Simeone treated it like a final because he brought in Jude Bellingham and gave him 70 minutes to build up his stamina for the rest of the year. But it was a clearly mistake because you could see it from the first minute that he wasn't in rhythm with the rest of his teammates. You could tell that he was not on the same page as them, and it was obvious that we're because usually if you watch any Real Madrid game, they attack through the left side. That's where the majority of the attacks will come from. And because Jude Bellingham was there, it would just became so ineffective. Uh, Housen and Carreras were trying to pass forward towards him. You become, to connect to Vinny and Mbappe, and it just wasn't happening because they were
Mhm.
because they weren't Jude Bellingham wasn't in the positions that they want him to be or they've expected from with Cooler throughout the start of the season. And it was obviously impacting them. And then also during the second half, I just think he came out with the wrong mentality because the team was able to bring themselves back in this game, like you said, 2-1, with Mbappe moving right to connect with Cooler for the goal, and then also the counterattack that happened with Vinny connecting with Cooler to get the lead 2-1. Then coming into the half, Cooler got the yellow, and then I think Xabi Alonso played it safe by subbing him out and
Mhm.
bringing in Masantona, but I think he should have just left Cooler in and taken out Jude and then brought Masantona or Brahim Diaz or anyone really. But he took him out because he was afraid of
A
risking
second
him.
yellow.
But Cooler was the best player on the field up to that point, I think, because he had the goal, he had the assist, he was bringing creativity to the midfield, progressing the ball. And then also, I want to say there's a lot of discrepancies between the refereeing, because you know how the Cooler was a yellow and a penalty, that high ball, but in the Premier League, the exact same thing I think happened with Man U, and they just got away with it.
Well, the Premier League also didn't give a penalty for a handball.
Yeah, I'm just calling out the discrepancies that
Yeah.
we see in current refereeing.
Jesse, I think that was a cheap excuse by Xabi Alonso for saying that this team is under construction. That team is a billion-dollar squad. They can't be under construction. That team should be rolling through everyone. Mbappe's in impeccable form. I think it was just I don't know if it's outside forces that are pushing Jude Bellingham into the 11, but like you said, that was the biggest mistake that they've made because Real Madrid was playing pretty good. It still didn't convince me, but they were playing pretty good and getting the results, and that was the whole point. So I'm very surprised that he touched the 11, especially in such a big match, to fit Jude in. And I think that was his biggest mistake. Again, I think Florentino, there was pressure from Florentino. I don't know if he directly said it to play Jude in that position. So I think Xabi Alonso has to go out and start doing his own thing. Slowly start incorporating Jude because clearly he's not at the level to be at right now in the squad. Especially with like how you said, Arda Güler's been in fantastic form. He's one of the best players. He's been controlling that midfielder even when Valverde is not playing at his best.
Yeah, that's who else I wanted to call out. Valverde throughout this year has not looked at his best. He looks uncomfortable in the Xabi Alonso system.
Mhm.
The what he's being called upon to do is like I said, his weaknesses before, and I think it's finally time for him to like prove that he can do it, or else you know what? I think he's gonna be stuck playing that right back role where he might not like it, but you know that's where you're best suited right now.
Yeah, but even then at Valverde's worst, they were getting the wins. Now you
Hmm.
can't have a midfielder with Valverde again can't find himself in the 11, and then you can't have Jude in there as well, another player that's gonna have to try to find himself in that team. It's impossible. You can only use one, and I'd rather have Valverde. And I think you're right; they might play him at right back, especially since like Militao got hurt, but you said he's a knock, so he might come back, and then
Yep.
Carvajal got hurt.
Yeah, Carvajal's out. That's why he got subbed out, and I don't want to talk about him.
Yeah,
Uh,
Asensio, I'm not afraid to talk about him. He came in and played the best he could. He was a secret agent, Jesse. He was getting cooked. So yeah, I don't think Valverde, not Valverde. Valverde is gonna see the pitch, but I think he's gonna be a right back, like you said. They're not
yeah,
gonna risk playing Asensio at all.
yeah. It was such a mistake for to keep him or just even to play him. I think early on in the summer there was reports of offers for Valverde coming in, and they should have just accepted it and run with the
Asensio,
money.
you mean Asensio?
I said Asensio, yeah, because he
Mm.
has just he had those few games where he obviously clicked well with Ancelotti's system, but he's obviously that's the best that you can get those spurs of moments. But yeah, some Madrid fans might glamorize that he's from the academy and try to keep him, but I don't know how much more proof they have to see that he's clearly not fit for this level.
Yeah, there's not much to go on. It was a lot of off-field stuff too. Like he is getting accused of certain things, and gonna get well, I don't know about prosecuted, but yeah, he's getting accused. So his mind is probably not in football. That's a very heavy thing to be accused of. Those of you go look it up. So it makes sense why he's not fully there and like just out of it, you know?
Hmm.
Because he went from being called up to the Spain national team to like not even being called up, not even starting for your team, or not even being the second option for the defense. At this point, you're only getting played because you're the only guy they have left. But enough of that. Going to the other side of the pitch, Atletico Madrid. I don't want to get too hyped over it because we kind of did say they start off slow, gonna go on an insane run, and I think this is where the run begins, or like it was the midweek match, and they're gonna start winning. But come January, they're also gonna start falling.
Yeah, I think this was just a return to the roots. Like we've always said, or we've seen these past couple years that uh, they're trying to implement a new style of football. They're trying to play more, attacking football, more possession. They're trying to be more, like the big teams play play different type of football, and it just doesn't work. And we saw throughout this year that it hasn't worked. Like their big new shining signing was Alex Baena, and he didn't start. Simeone went straight back to what they were, a straight defensive team that will counterattack or go for those moments, be clinical and score goals. And this was back to their usual. Like they'll score the goal, they'll wait for their chance, and then they'll score another, or they just rely on their star player to pull mo moments of brilliance and score goals, like that free kick that Julian Alvarez scored. Like the brilliance that they need, they'll use it, and then they'll wait, buy their time, accept, especially against Real Madrid team during the second half. They just looked lost, trying to attack that low block that Atletico Madrid's known for, and they went and countered and scored a goal. And then the last goal was obviously Valverde's mistake. Just
Trying to be like Pedri, that's what Twitter's saying. Trying to control the game and just made the mistake. But yeah, yeah, it was a very infantile, childish mistake, if anything. At that point, I think he was out of the game. The game was, I think it was like the 87th minute, probably would have been the 90th. And
mhm.
yeah, Real Madrid let Griezmann score his first goal since February. So I liked his run too. I don't think it gets talked about enough. How Griezmann just went towards the middle. It was pretty cool.
Well, I think he was just attacking Asensio because that's who he was running after. So he's like, oh, who should I run towards to, Hausen or Asensio?
Yeah, he was running. It was interesting what he did. It was he was on the left center back side and then he started running towards the middle, which is not a typical run. And then yeah, he attacked Asensio, whoever that right center back was at the time. And yeah, just I don't know. It was brilliant to me and I was watching it. It was like poetry in motion. And he has a lot of goals like that. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they dropped points and now my boys Barcelona got to go to top of the league. And it wasn't an easy match though. I'll say that. Especially with all the injuries that they have. And Hansi Flick did make rotations. He started the 17-year-old or 18-year-old Dro.
Yeah, the one that I mentioned before, I just can't remember. Yeah, but also this was first time we've seen the season of Szczesny, right? Because Joao Garcia is injured. Is he going to be back in time for the Clasico, or is he set to miss that as well?
He's not ruled out for the Clásico, so they're gonna try to force him to come back. Well, he's trying to force himself to come back for the
Hmm.
Clásico. But yeah, he's done until after the international break. Same thing with Rafinha. He's done until the international break. His injury, I think for sure he'll be back for the Clásico. But yeah, with Joan Garcia, it's a meniscus issue. He had to get surgery, but yeah, it was only 4 to 6 weeks. But again, he might be back in 5. But yeah, Szczesny had to be called up. It was a very interesting press conference. He said he's not happy because he wanted Juan Garcia to be the starting goalkeeper. So it
Hmm.
looks like he has a lot of support there, and it's kind of funny because he did say like somehow I'm prefacing this or like not, I'm paraphrasing this. He said somewhere along the line saying like he's gonna be the goalie here for the long time. So it
Hmm.
kind of like it sucks with their staying to hear that, but yeah, that's gonna be the truth. Juan Garcia is just a beast, and you can't sit him down.
Well, I think it's great, or Barca have a great backup situation with Chesney because he knows what his role is. That's why he came back. Because remember he retired and he came back just because he knew the situation he was coming in, and he's sort of along for the ride and just like, oh, you can call upon me when needed.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, there's a lot of egos that would try to get in the way. Again, if it was Ter Stegen and he was healthy and the backup goalkeeper, he'd be trying to take that job. But
Yeah.
hey, dude, what can you do? So if anyone needs a goalkeeper, my boy Ter Stegen is there. Champions League starts Tuesday, Jesse. Great matches are coming up. This is Tuesday's matches. Anything that sticks out, other than the Real Madrid going to Kazakhstan to go, like the furthest trip I think so far in the tournament. What's your prediction for that game?
It's gonna be heavily rotated, so uh I would expect a crazy scoreline. Probably maybe two or three, uh, 3-1 maybe, because a lot of defensive rotations.
I'm a go bold, Jesse, and I think the team from Kazakhstan is going to win 2-1. Why? Because I am a hate watcher, and I think the trip is going to just mess up Real Madrid and a lot of their players. Because they have Kazakhstan has a lot to win, Real Madrid really doesn't, you
Uh-huh.
know? But again, Real Madrid has nothing to lose. The other team does. Um, but yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. Again, and the scenes on football Twitter, if it happens, I'm gonna be there for it. And just expect another meme, Jesse. Anything else that sticks out?
Galatasaray at home against Liverpool.
Oof. After a Liverpool loss as well, do you think Galatasaray pulls out the opposite?
Yes, that's what I'm here for. Liverpool's about to experience a real atmosphere with real fans,
That'll be interesting. I don't know. Galatasaray lost last match. And the Champions League, I think they lost. Not against Liverpool, but yeah, versus Eintracht Frankfurt, they lost 5-1, Jesse.
Yeah, but Eintracht Frankfurt's a real team.
And it's in Germany too, so that'll be interesting at home. I think Liverpool still wins though. So I'm surprised you're saying that. I like the atmosphere and everything, but I think Liverpool wins. What's your scoreline prediction? You don't have one, dude.
3-2.
Oh.
Make it fun.
An interesting match. Jose Mourinho with Benfica, new manager, going back to his beloved Chelsea. Who wins, Chelsea? And
Benfica.
then, okay, that's interesting. You're quick to respond to that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say it's too interesting because I think it's a clear Benfica win.
Why
Chelsea's
is
going
that?
Chelsea's going through a horrible time. Two straight games where they've gotten a early red card with, before Roberto Sanchez getting a red card, basically handing the win to Man U, and then Maresca's tactics are being called into question because it seems like he can't get it right currently.
I have a draw. I don't think Jose Mourinho is going to make it easy for them because, well, we both know Jose Mourinho. He's going to go out defensive. We don't doubt that and just cause a lot of fouls in the midfield. But for you to say win, it's interesting. Oh my God. I think that's about it for day one, unless you see something else. Buffalo versus Bayern Munich. It's another interesting match, but Bayern Munich should win. Now on Wednesday, Jesse, Barcelona PSG is probably the biggest headline. Who do you have winning this game? Both
Uh,
teams are very depleted when it comes to their
Yeah,
players.
I think this is gonna be a tough one because it's a big injury list for both teams, but also important players are injured.
Yeah,
But you know
it's
what?
let's start right here.
Uh, I don't know.
I had Barcelona winning. It was no surprise. I think they have enough players to rotate. Chesney's a good backup. Gerard Martinez is showing that he could definitely play left back and has made an improvement from last season. Um, yeah, and I think Lamine Yamal is going to play this match. I don't know if the full 90. I think it'll probably be 45 minutes in the second half or 30. But I think Barcelona has this in the bag. Kvaratskhelia also got a knock, so I don't know why he's in the 11. So
Well,
he's
it's
not
a
going to be fully fit.
he's just not fully fit. But there's also like couple players that are doubtful but could possibly play. I know it's the same thing with like Vitinha and João Neves, so they could maybe make it in. But it's just gonna be on the day to see who actually shows up on the lineup.
I just want to see how no, how PSG does without their captain Marquinhos, because yeah, they are playing with two younger center backs.
No, Sabarny is really good.
Oh, that's the
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth, right?
Ukrainian guy, yeah.
But we'll see what he does, dude, under the pressure against Barcelona. Rashford cooked PSG last season when he was in Aston Villa and had a great campaign or like that match. So they could do it again, especially with the Lamine Yamal, Bergdahl, and then the form Pedri and De Jong are in is absurd. So I think Barcelona wins 3-0. Do you have a prediction?
Uh, I'll give a 1-1 draw or 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
Yeah, dude, I don't want Barca, but I know this PSG squad's in a tough spot.
Yeah, definitely. Oh my God. Monaco, Man City. Ansu
Uh,
Fati's in incredible form. And you hesitated, dude, but Ansu Fati's playing pretty well. He has 3 goals in 4 games, I think. So he's playing well right now. He's not in the 11, but I don't doubt he comes in. Again, we talked about how Man City is so shaky, so I'm definitely betting against them again. I can't trust them at the moment. I would say Monaco wins 2-1.
I think it's Man City. I think Haaland gets 2 more goals, and it's a 3-1 victory.
Then Napoli versus Sporting. Who do you got?
I think it's Napoli,
Yeah, Napoli didn't start off well. They had to face a tough Man City in the first game
and then they had
of,
the quick red card, so I think they really need this point. So I think they're gonna go for it.
especially at home, so they have every advantage to win. And then lastly, Villarreal versus Juventus. It's an interesting game. Villarreal was so unlucky in the first Champions League leg. Not leg, but match stay. They conceded a really bad goal. And is that the one? Yeah, that's the one they lost to against Tottenham. So we'll see how they do. Juventus is not in the best form at the moment. Out of 5 games, they have 3 draws and 2 wins. So,
Yeah,
and they tied against Dortmund too.
but they have the best player on the field in Yildiz.
Yes, soon to be Barcelona player.
Yeah, don't you dare say those words.
Oh God. Then is there no, there's no more Thursday games. But Europa League. Let's see what we can find here in this other edge of the corner of the tournament. Roma Lille, that's a pretty decent game. Mm, yeah, it's tough to judge these games just because it's going off the top. I would think Roma would win.
Yeah, I think that's my contestant as well.
Then it's Feyenoord Aston Villa, that's pretty decent.
I think Feyenoord, depending on the form they're looking at, because Aston Villa is bottom of the table, they're really struggling. Emery has recently called out the team and says they just don't look like they're working hard enough for it. They just look like they're being lazy. So I would go with Feyenoord
And
because
they're the underdogs too.
I think that's just name value.
True. So that's interesting. So Aston Villa, what part of the what position of the table are they in?
They're bottom table.
Oh, they are 16th. Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
they only have 1 win.
Then there's news about Israeli teams getting banned at the moment. So we'll see if how long they stay there for and who gets the spot. Conference League, who is in the Conference League from the Premier League? Because there's usually like a
Crystal
Premier League
Palace.
chat. Oh, they should win their match. But
You skipped over my boys.
oh,
Fiorentina, right there,
where? We're right there.
below AC Locarno.
He's safe Fiorentina, but they've been in the Conference League for the past 3 seasons, Jesse.
Those are my boys, though. La
Hey,
Viola.
all
I'm
power to you.
I'm just waiting for them to send me a shirt, dude.
Trying your best out there. Oh my God, they've been in a horrible form, dude.
Hey, that's not Como's a great team. They have the best player in the Serie A.
They lost against Pizza, bro.
Dude, they lost against Napoli. They lost against Como. No teams to laugh at, and then they drew. And then, it's okay, dude. They're rounding into form. They just had a tough draw.
Oh my God, Goosens, bro. Yeah, Moise Keane had a great season last season, so he's off to a really slow start. Don't
It's
blame
okay.
him. Yeah, don't blame him. I would have liked to see Como in this competition, though. That would have been cool.
The Como's a one-man team with my boy.
One man team.
Literally, he's been involved in every goal. Every goal they've scored, he's either scored or assisted in the Serie A.
Hey, yeah, you can't. Those are the stats, Jesse. I can't fight that. I can't troll that at the moment. This weekend in the Premier League, it's actually pretty decent matches. Arsenal versus West Ham. Uh,
Didn't West Ham fire Graham Potter? Who took over?
I'm not sure. I am not sure. I've been out of the Premier League. I stopped watching it as much.
West Ham
Uh,
have sack manager after Wait, hold up. It was right there.
was it
An overview.
overview?
West Ham have Nuno Espirito Santos. There you go.
When are they facing Nottingham Forest? That's the first thing I'm looking for.
It looks like it's not gonna be for a while.
When I just saw them. No, I didn't. January 7th. I saw they already played them then. Yeah, they did play them. Yep. So January 7th, mark your calendars. That's gonna be an intense match.
It's funny. It's gonna be Ange versus Nuno.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, who do you got winning this? Probably Arsenal, right? Sadly.
Nah,
I mean, they have to, right? West Ham just got a new manager.
nah, dude. Give them that honeymoon period. Give them that win. Make them
It
feel
is
good.
it is Nuno Espirito Santo, so I could see him putting like defensive tactics and just going out there try to get the 1-0 win. So maybe you're right. I'm with you, Jesse. West Ham win. And then we go to
Heavy favorite Sunderland.
heavy favorite Sunderland. Smash that money line at 5.5. I'm going Sunderland. You have to at this point. You gotta bet on them.
It's top of the table team versus bottom of the table team.
They're
The better team should obviously win.
And then Chelsea versus Liverpool, one for the ages, Jesse.
This one's tough. This
Yeah,
one's
it's
tough.
tough because they're both Liverpool is traveling for their match in the
You know
Champions
what?
League, and
I'll give it to
Chelsea's facing
Chelsea.
Benfica.
I'll
Damn.
I'll give it to Chelsea because of my predictions to begin the season. I need them to step up.
I think they draw. I think this draws it looks like a big match, but it's gonna be one of those matches where they just both draw and don't play at all. And now my hate watch has officially begun last weekend. Real Madrid have a horrible schedule ahead of them. At midweek, they got to travel all the way to Kazakhstan, and now they got to travel all the way back to play on a Saturday on top of that against Villarreal. Do you think your boys got the win?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough win. I think they barely scrape it. I think the rotations against Ka in Kazakhstan that is projected to happen, I think will help keep some of the players fresh, and they get the win.
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's a draw because they can't beat Athletic Club Bilbao at home. I think Real Madrid's players are just gonna be too tired and exhausted from that plane ride, so I got to draw. Hey, if it's a Villarreal win, I'm not complaining, you know? And in Serie A, a fantastic match is definitely Atalanta versus Como.
I- If you want to watch cinema, watch my boy beat Atalanta.
Yeah, you got to watch Como because, yeah, Nico Paz is absurd at the moment. He's bound to get an assist or score, like you said. So go for it.
Oh, and Frankfurt versus Bayern Munich. Don't forget that one. Frankfurt just came off of a great match against Borussia Mönchengladbach, where it was a 4-6 game. So hopefully it's another high scoring game against Bayern Munich.
So, Jesse, we should make an incredible parlay right here. We got to go Frankfurt,
Yep.
going Como.
Yep.
I'm skipping this because we have biases.
Yep.
Um, go Sunderland.
Oh, 100% pound that
And
line.
I think that should just be the parlay. Don't get greedy and put West Ham and Liverpool. Again, biases, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's a pretty decent thing. So if someone could do the math for us, I wish I could do it right now, but I don't want to sign into my sports book.
Same.
And it's Sunday. We have Brentford versus Man City. Can Brentford go 2 for 2 against the Manchester teams? I
Uh,
say yes, Jesse.
I
I
say
say
no.
yes. I say yes.
I don't think so.
Man City's playing Champions League. Brentford isn't. Brentford's gonna have a plan in mind and they're gonna dominate. So I have them winning.
No, I think Man City wins.
Then we have Sevilla versus Barcelona.
Sevilla's gonna do me a favor. They're gonna, do me a solid and get me a win.
You didn't sound too convinced trying to say that, Jesse. You hesitated.
Yeah, this
So
isn't the old Sevilla, dude. This isn't the Carlos Vaca led Sevilla anymore. This is
who leads them at this point? Sevilla's on the
Alexis
right.
Sanchez.
Oh, Alexis Sanchez is back. Uh Vargas is there. Yeah, this Sevilla side is unrecognizable at this point. Aspilicueta's there. Like, yeah, Sevilla's days are done. You know why you could blame the president of Spanish football.
Yep.
And then Celta Vigo versus Athletic Madrid is not an easy game. They're playing at Celta Vigo. That stadium is known to take points away from Giants. Let's see if Atletico Madrid can continue their hot start or hot streak and win against Celta Vigo. But again, it's not an easy feat.
Now watch them. They're gonna lose against him. Just watch, just to make it funny, just to be funny. They're like, oh, we beat Real Madrid. We're gonna lose against Celta Vigo.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But again, it's not easy, Jesse, so you can't just say that lightly.
Yeah, but
Then your Fiorentina's facing Roma, so it's an interesting match.
yeah, Laviola gets a win.
No, they're not. They haven't won, so
They're
no,
getting a win.
they're losing. Napoli versus Genoa. Napoli should win that match. Then Juventus Milan is probably the biggest headliner for that Serie A weekend.
Yeah.
And I have AC Milan winning. They're not playing European football. Keep that in mind.
I think you're right. I think it's gonna be a great match. I think it's a 2-3 score line.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be high scoring for sure. I'm just trying to see, do they play any European football? No, they don't. So maybe a blessing in disguise. And well, that pretty much wraps it up for the week, the matches this midweek and weekend. Any closing thoughts or last minute talks you want to talk about?
Oh, the recent as we've mentioned or has been mentioned in the news that MetLife Stadium in the US is going to be hosting the World Cup final next year, but it's also has just recently gotten a new nickname from a former player that was they used to call that stadium home. Odell Beckham Jr. just recently nicknamed it Death Life because it's known to cause players to get severe injuries from ACLs to Achilles. This past weekend, they just claimed another young star from the NFL and Malik Neighbors, and he got an ACL injury. And it's a growing list of star players that have gotten serious injuries. And but don't worry, guys. Next year it's gonna be hosting the World Cup final. So yeah, your players should be fine.
It's gonna at least take one ACL or one Achilles from a player, which sucks. But yep, hey, this is what they signed up for. They wanted the games played there, even though they have been taking yeah players' careers at some points. So I don't know, dude. It should be banned. They should all be playing in real sand, the real grass.
Real sad.
I'll take sand over turf at this point.
Yeah. And then in other news, Inigo Martinez, as soon as he got out of the Barcelona bubble, said that Vinicius Jr. was the clear-cut winner in last year's Ballon d'Or race, but that it was just, media.
Yeah, it is like that. A lot of people don't like him off the pitch, so I can see their biases. Do you blame him? It's hard, especially like that. Did he win the FIFA the best?
I don't remember. Let me check.
Because yeah, there's talks of FIFA the best now, and I think there's rumors saying that Rafinha is the clear front runner. We don't know.
FIFA the best awards. It comes out in December.
No, I know that, but who was last year's winner?
Vinny.
Yeah. So that tech can be counted as the most objectively given award, but
Yeah, because I know people are recently, because I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't follow women's soccer or football that much, but I know there was outrage in this past Ballon d'Oro because who was
Bonmati.
the yeah she Bonmati won the Ballon d'Oro on the female side, and a lot of people were criticizing the decision because the
They
one
went they lost the Champions League final and the Arsenal women's team won that. And
yeah
remember everyone was saying that it should have been the Arsenal women player that won it because she was also up for the award.
yeah because she won the Champions League with the Arsenal and also she was with England when they won the Euros. So they're saying she won the two biggest tournaments that she could in the past year, and she still didn't win. So what can she do? So I'm not gonna sit here and lie, but I know that was a big controversy going around. So yeah, it's a lot of things going out for the Ballon d'Oro.
Yeah, a lot of biases, I'll say that for sure. But Messi won all his eight. He won all his eight. I cannot argue that.
All right.
And then the Super Ballon d'Oro is coming up, Jesse, and your boy Messi's winning it.
No.
But yeah, that's about it. Any other closing thoughts? I'm
Uh,
rooting for J.K. Dobbins and Cortland Sutton to have a horrible game today. So we'll see.
yeah, the Bears are one bad quarter away from being 3-1 going into this bye. Because if they didn't have that bad fourth quarter against the Vikings in week one, they would be 3-1 currently. So
Hey, if anything, this makes us more mentally tough, dude. It was early on mistakes we're fixing.
yeah, dude,
But
it's a process. It's a process.
that Raider game was pissing me off so much because Max Crosby was legit handing us pretty much the L.
Yeah, Max Crosby's a problem.
He's insane.
Yeah, listen, if you want to be a Bear, give us a call. We'll make something. We'll work something out because the Raiders aren't going anywhere, buddy.
And you know what's crazy to me? What is his name? Trey Henderson or Henderson, the one from the Bengals, defensive end, defensive lineman that was like
Yeah, yeah,
asking for a
yeah.
huge contract. I wonder what Max Crosby should be asking for. Because that guy is, I'm telling you, he was literally giving the Bears an L. We were in the red zone three times in the first quarter, the second quarter, beginning of
You
the
want
second
me
quarter.
you want me to look up his contract?
Yeah, look it up. We were in the end zone in the red zone three times in the beginning of the first or oh, in the first quarter, and we
He
only came out with 3 points.
he has a 3-year 106 mil contract, so it's not even the biggest. And he signed it this year.
That's a team-friendly contract. And if anyone should be trading for him, it should be for at least two first-round picks.
Because that's what like averaging what like 30 something.
Hmm.
Didn't Myles Garrett just get like 50 million per year?
And he's up there with Myles Garrett, I think. He could
Yeah,
be up
Max
there.
yeah, Max Crosby, you want to be a Bear? We'll make it happen. We'll figure something out.
Give him DJ Moore.
We'll work something out. Max Crosby, Raiders, come on. Come on.
Exactly. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jesse and Jerry. Peace.
Peace.